He is the former assistant United States attorney for the Southern District of New York. He served as the House Majority Counsel during Donald Trump's first impeachment trial. Daniel, I'm okay with the plunger and the toilet side of this equation. I don't understand the rest of it. So please help us out here.
Certainly, Ali. From my experience on the House Intelligence Committee, where everyone needed to have top secret clearance, there are very, very carefully choreographed methods to protect classified information. Classified information, particularly top secret information, does not leave a secured classified area. If it does, you put it in a bag with a lock on it. There are really, really detailed and careful procedures to make sure that no classified material is ever left out to the public for anyone without top secret or whatever classification clearance that is necessary. And it doesn't really matter on one level as to who was ultimately responsible for bringing those boxes down to Mar-a-Lago, because almost certainly whatever was in those boxes should not have been classified information. Now, the president himself does have the right and the authority to declassify documents, but he doesn't just wave a wand in the air and say, oh, that's what I'm going to do. This document is declassified. That document is declassified. All of these documents have very clear markings on them. They'll say secret, top secret, and a variety of other markings. And one of those markings would be declassified, or it would cross over the classification markings from earlier if it were to be declassified. So there's a process. And the fact of there being top secret documents in random boxes in Mar-a-Lago is in and of itself mishandling of classified information. What we don't know is who did that, who was responsible for it. Presumably Donald Trump was not packing his own boxes, but was he aware of what was in them? And who else was aware, who oversaw this? And that's where the Department of Justice and the FBI need to get involved, because even if there's no criminal investigation or criminal prosecution that arises from this, it is a national security issue, and the FBI's counterintelligence division needs to figure out what happened.
Does this fall under the purview of the January 6th investigation, or is this an FBI Justice Department matter?
No, and there was in the report, it also says that even when they uncovered the top secret information and relayed that to the FBI was still figuring out what they should do with it. But I do think it's important to put this in perspective, okay? The classification issues, the related to the stuff that was in the documents, the Presidential Records Act violation is not something that really falls within the purview of the January 6th committee. The House Oversight Committee under Chairwoman Carolyn Maloney has announced an investigation into that issue. That is separate from the January 6th investigation. What I think is important and that overlaps a lot with this Presidential Records Act and the January 6th committee investigation is two things. One is the fact that there are very few call logs from the day of January 6th is an issue. What happened was Donald Trump intentionally concealing conversations that he was having with people through his aides' personal cell phones that are not protected and are not supposed to be used, or where was he when he was having these conversations? Because we know that he also was sneaking people in the side door for meetings prior to January 6th. And then the other thing that I think is very important here, and is a continuation of a pattern that we've seen from Donald Trump, is the destruction of these documents. Whether he ripped them up, tore them up, ate them, flushed them down the toilet, or whatever it is, he is destroying presidential records. Now, that's a violation of the Presidential Records Act. But this is also someone who obstructed the Mueller investigation, who obstructed the first impeachment investigation that I worked on, and has a history of obstructing investigations, of trying to hide what we can only assume now is misconduct because of the pattern and practice of doing that. And so the question then becomes, what is he ripping up? What is he tearing? What is he trying to hide? and presumably that falls under the January 6th investigation.